Okay, so I was watching Angelina's short, which was a new short titled Should Idols Debut Older? And she was talking about idols debuting at 13 or 14. And then she also mentioned about idols who, in the past debuted at like 26, 27, basically in their late 20s, like that. And it made me, think of a question that I wanted to ask. Do K-pop stars actually care about wanting more adults in the industry, or they will only care when a bigger group does it, or a group that gets popular or something does it, and then they will start to care? What I mean to say is that so many adults exist in the industry currently. Even though K-pop stars be like adults debut less, minus debut more, so many debut that go unnoticed. One example is Dignity, which is a boy group that debuted all adults and no minors debut in the group. But K-pop fans did not really do not really notice groups like them. I mean, yes, there was a few instances like Babies and Exceed, for example, who debuted with all adults, and K-pop stars kind of noticed them because I saw news type channels talking about them. And also I think Epic Travels also were noticed for one member being an adult or something. And even the girl band, instrumental playing band, Quiver, I don't know how you pronounce the name, but that's how I see it, debut was talked about in articles. I think it was um all K-pop or Soompi. No, it was a Koreabo article talking about the member being 26 or something, debuting at 26. And these things, they were shocking to people, even though it did not shock me. And I know that there were these rare instances that K-pop fans noticed these groups. But I feel like overall, K-pop fans would not care of a group and want to actively search for them unless they are popular enough for K-pop stans to want to know them, or they were debuted by a big company, or a big company does it. Like if you take Kiss of Life for example, so many people notice them for being 18 plus and calling them grown women and stuff like that, which is funny because Hanul debuted as a minor according to Korean age and Korean age law, whatever. But the thing is, K-pop stans noticed them because they had a popular member like Belle, and they had Natty, who was formerly from the show 16 that formed twice. So this group was getting noticed, and K-pop stans noticed them, and then saw, oh my god, they're all adults, they're 18 plus, this and that, this and that. They were only saying these things because Kiss of Life were known. Imagine if Kiss of Life were not known. Do you think K-pop stans would notice them much? No, I don't think so. So it just makes me wonder, do K-pop stars actually care about wanting adults in the industry, or will they only care once a bigger company does it, or if it relates to bigger companies? Because so many adult idols exist in the industry, so many adult-only groups that debuted as adults exist in the industry. I've made videos on them sharing adult-only groups, but yet K-pop stars, they don't actively search for these solutions. They constantly complain about how adults debut less, idols debut more. Idols should debut when they're 18 or when they're 17. Idols should not debut when they're 13 or 14. And they constantly make these comments. And while a lot of them are valid, and whatever these K-pop stars say are valid, why aren't they actively going to search for the solutions and trying to find for adult groups? Why are they always so fixated? Idols shouldn't debut at this age. Idols debut too much at this age. Instead of thinking, do idols that are adults debut? Why are they not questioning and trying to find a counter argument? Meaning that so many times K-pop stars you'll see talk about um, adults debut less, minors debut more, talking about how minors debut too much and minors shouldn't debut, and idols shouldn't debut at 13 or 14, they should debut at 16, 17, 18, and stuff like this. And they are saying all these things, but where are the K-pop stans questioning things, being like, minors debut a lot, but do adult idols also debut? Why are there no K-pop stans questioning these things? Because I don't think, again, that they actually care. And only once bigger companies start doing it, then they'll actually care. It reminds me of one comment that I saw on AHOF's Pinocchio, no, Pinocchio, I think it was, or Rendezvous, one of the songs, where they did I think it was their performance on It's Like K-pop or something I saw, where someone commented about the song, having a bridge and basically talking about the song as if the song was fully complete and made to be a song instead of some short TikTok viral thing, and they were commenting about it. And I commented back how so many songs exist, but yet y'all don't notice these things and stuff like that. And it's true, K-pop fans do not notice these things and will only notice it once bigger companies do it. But even with songs getting shorter, K-pop fans do not want to actively search for the long songs because they do not care. They will only care once bigger companies do it, and that too also if they do it in like the main promoted tracks, that like the title tracks or b-sides that get MVs, basically the tracks that K-pop fans notice more, because there are so many b-sides by popular groups, there are so many songs by soloists, there's so many songs by bands that are popular that K-pop stans do not notice or take notice of, that are long in length. But K-pop stans do not take notice of them. They mainly focus on the main title tracks, the main songs promoted, the one or two songs that are like for example, Witch Man by aespa, or We Go Up by Baby Monster, Hot Songs by Baby Monster, and songs like these that have MVs, that are the title tracks, or maybe they are B-sides that have MVs. They only look at these things. They do not look actively at the b-sides or at the other things. Maybe they are listening to the b-sides, but they are not promoting them as long songs. They are not doing these things. Why are they not doing that? It's because they do not care about these issues. They will only care once it's all up in their face by bigger companies. They do not want to care about it if it's done in like a b-side, if it's done by popular soloists or bands, which K-pop stands, I believe, do not notice as much as they look at groups and stuff like that. And they do not want to notice these things if it's done by an artist that is not popular, if it's done by an artist that is no good. They will only notice it once a bigger company does it and puts it straight in their face and it's promoted as such. And yet K-pop stands, they don't care in the end. That's what I'm trying to say. And I believe that. I believe that K-pop stans only just complain to complain, and they comment these things constantly because they're hoping that bigger companies will push these things to their faces. But why can't they do it themselves? There's so many long songs that exist. There's so many songs that are full and complete that exist. There are so many groups that debut with all adults in them. You can search for them and promote them. You can do that on your channels. So many of you are K-tubers. You can do that. But why don't you? Why do you come off as you just want bigger companies to do it for you and shove it in your face and promote it as such? You only want to notice it once these become the main things that you notice. Like, you just only want long song once once it becomes a title track of a K-pop group. You will never notice it if it's a b-side, or if it's not even by a K-pop group, if it's by a K-band, or if it's by a soloist. And that is true because I watch a lot of unpopular K-pop opinions videos. I watch a lot of K-tube videos. I am an active watcher of random K-tube videos when it gets recommended to me, and I watch a lot of unpopular K-pop opinions videos, hot take type videos, K-pop shorts that are related to unpopular opinions or video ideas, like things we need more in K-pop, things we need less in K-pop. I literally watch these videos most of the time just to get inspiration for my takes and for my opinions and such. But I watch these videos. I actively look at new channels that I've never subscribed to and will never subscribe to after watching the videos, because I do that, and I know that lots of K-pop stans are just here to complain about things but never actively find solutions. Again, they do not care about wanting solutions. They just want it to be all up in their face. Like, if you look at, for example, K-pop stans talking about songs getting shorter nowadays, but then if they say like songs in the past were longer, it's because K-pop stans are looking at older songs that were there in the past that were longer. But those songs, if you ask them to list those songs in the past that they believe were longer, they will mostly list songs that may be songs that are title tracks, that were songs that were pushed to your face, meaning they were the promoted songs, they were the most known songs, they had MVs, they had dance practices, they were promoted on music shows and such. They were the main songs of the group for a comeback or for whatever they did. But if you ask K-pop stans to list songs now that are short, Again, these songs are the songs that are pushed to your face, that are the title tracks, that are the main promoted tracks on music shows and stuff, such the ones with dance practices, the ones with everything. So that's why I see that K-pop fans do not care, because they only look at the main songs of the groups and they do not look at B-sides or soloists and bands that have longer songs. Because I believe the K-pop fans mostly just, look at most of K-pop stans just mostly be looking at K-pop groups rather than soloists and bands, and that too the most popular artists in the that is two the most popular groups in the industry. And that's why I believe that K-pop stans do not care, because if they were to compare older generations to newer generations with the example again of long songs, as I said, they are looking at just like the ones pushed to your face. That's what I believe. So yeah, you guys should start searching for solutions and be the change, and stop waiting for companies to be the change for you. There's so many solutions that exist of so many songs going unnoticed that are long, so many groups going unnoticed for being adults. I've made videos showing adult groups that exist that are no and popular for you all to check out if you like them. I've made videos, one is 2024 and one is 2025, of songs that are long by less popular artists in K-pop, be it K-indie pop, K-R&B pop, K-pop and all these things. And in the future, I don't know when I'll get the chance, I'm making a video where I compile a list of long songs by popular artists, that is popular groups, popular bands, popular soloists, just to show you guys that long songs exist. But you guys, because you guys are never going to do it. And even though I've given up the fact of trying to, make debunking videos, trying to call out K-pop stands and such, I do want to make that video to show you guys that long songs exist, because y'all are never going to do it yourselves. Y'all are just going to sit on your asses waiting for the companies to give it to you, serve it to you on a silver platter. Y'all not going to look to B-sides. Y'all are not going to do the extra work just to promote these songs on your channel. So many of y'all are K-tubers, but y'all find it much easier to go like, minus debut more, adults debut less, songs are getting shorter, oh my god, where are the long songs, instead of trying to search for these solutions. So yeah, that is all I had to say, and I am not going to be like, I'm sorry if this comes off as harsh, because I'm being honest here when I say that you guys suck, because you're just out here complaining, making these comments just for people to agree with you. You don't actually care about these things. You're writing these comments, but you are not this type of K-pop stan who goes like, adults, minors debut more, but do adults exist? Or songs are getting shorter, but do long songs exist? Y'all are not K-pop stans who do this. Y'all are K-pop stans who are, you're like, minors debut more, point period blank. Adults debut less, point period blank. Songs are getting shorter, point period blank. You're not here to question things. And that what annoys me about you K-pop stans, because y'all are just here complaining for engagement, views and stuff on your channels. But you're not here to make one simple video being like, songs are getting shorter, but here are some long songs that I found. Adults, minors are debuting a lot, but here are some adults that I found in the industry that you can check out and support. You guys are not doing these things. You guys are just here complaining, and even though some of your complaints are valid and you're not saying some valid things, why aren't you trying to find valid solutions and say some valid solutions? Why aren't you here being the change in the industry as well, meaning trying to be a K-pop stan who wants change but also tries to find the change? Why are you all just accepting the fact that, oh, minors are debuting more, adults debut less, without trying to see if that is true completely? Why are you just here saying these things constantly over and over again, repeating the same things that become tired at this point without actually trying to find solutions? If you care about adults wanting them more, if you care about the fact that minors are debuting more, adults debut less, and minors shouldn't debut, or 13-14-year-olds shouldn't debut, then why aren't you supporting adult groups that exist? Why aren't you boycotting minors? Why aren't you trying to find the adults in the industry to support them over minors? And if you care about short songs and be like, songs are getting shorter, why aren't you finding longer songs and supporting those songs, and supporting those over the shorter songs? You're constantly bringing attention to the topic of minors debut more, adults debut less, and songs are getting shorter, more than trying trying to bring attention to the solutions. You are just constantly just talking about minors and short songs, bringing them into relevance constantly, time and time again, without trying to find solutions to them and bring into context, bring into conversation the solutions, so the solutions get repeated more and more rather than just the same old. Minors debut more, adults debut less, and songs are getting shorter with no further context. Why can't you just start promoting the solution so that the solutions come into circulation more than constantly talking about minors debuting, more than constantly talking about songs getting shorter? Why can't you just do that? So, yeah, that's all I had to say.